Okay, we'll get started with the University of Louisville. Head coach Rick Pitino, student athletes Russ Smith and Luke Hancock. Coach, we'll start with you and get your comments on the evening.
Well, we weren't sharp defensively tonight, and when you're not sharp defensively, you need a great offensive performance, and certainly we got it from Russ. He was brilliant, penetrating, passing, getting in the lane, shooting the ball. He's done it all in his senior year. Everything that you could possibly ask of any basketball player in terms of just, he deserves to be I think he's made 4 or 5 first-team college All-Americans, and you saw why tonight. It's a great story from a skinny, scrawny kid from Brooklyn to a big, strong, tough 42-point scorer. It's an amazing performance.
Okay, we'll open up to questions. Again, we have wireless mics on each side. Name and affiliation, please.
Tim Sullivan, Louisville Courier-Journal. Rick, Russ had 42 tonight. The school record is 45. Were you aware of that when you pulled him out?
I was aware afterwards, but it's more important that he doesn't get hurt and we have a chance than records. He's sort of has enough records right now. And if he did get to 45, he would never pass the ball the rest of the year, so it's good that he did not.
Somewhat difficult to answer, but if you could, a little primer tomorrow, if it's Cincinnati, if it's Connecticut, how it stacks up for you?
Two very different teams. One great defensive team, one great offensive team. One team has more offensive weapons. The other has, they have a young man that can kill you from the foul line, kill you using screens. So two different teams, both outstanding. I have my feeling who's going to win, but I'm not going to say. And it'll be an exciting time. We didn't play great defense tonight for the first time in a long time. We didn't get our defensive numbers, but offensively we were brilliant in passing the basketball, looking for each other, and then he was just unbelievable.
Are you surprised that this game got away from Houston the way it did, considering your team had their way with Houston during the season and because they pulled off an upset yesterday?
I thought Houston had a very good game plan. They pushed the pace before we could set up with our pressure. But guys like Luke and Russ are very clever basketball players. Even Russ stole a page out of Luke tonight with a ball fake on a three-point shot, made all 3 free throws. So they're a very smart basketball team. As I said, we didn't have a great night defensively, but Houston, we're playing good basketball right now. Our last 4 games have been terrific. So we're playing very good basketball. We've had an outstanding February, playing well in March, and that's what you want to do. But we know we'll have our hands full tomorrow with either opponent. The one great thing about these guys is they play every team with great respect, and that's why they haven't been upset this year, because the teams they lost to are all good opponents, and they play Houston as if they're UCLA. They play, Rutgers as if they're Kentucky. And that's a great quality to have. Great quality.
Talk about that. During the run in the first half, you had like 3 offensive rebounds off missed free throws. I think you guys got like 8 points off of that.
Believe it or not, we probably have worked harder on that in the past 2 weeks than any other fundamental in the game. We have a technique we're using, and Luke got 2 of them. Somebody else got 1.
3.
Russ,
3 of them.
excuse me.
It was 3.
We really worked very hard at that, and really excited about it. The other thing that you look at with these guys is how much they're willing to pass to each other, and that's what makes a good offensive basketball team, because we have a very high assist total. And since I've been at Louisville, I can't tell you I think it is, but nobody has told me this, but I think it's for the points scored, one of the lowest total of turnovers I've had as a coach in terms of the points we're generating. So that's very good passing, very good fundamentals by the guys. We don't turn it over very much. And, Ralph Willard, who really talked me into taking Russ, said this the other day, and I had a little argument with him. He said, Russ will be a much better pro than a college player. And I wasn't arguing that Russ is going to be a good pro. I said, Ralph, how could he's having a first-team All-American season. How is that possible? He said, I'm telling you, and Ralph's a scout for the Oklahoma Thunder, Russ Smith is going to be a great pro because he's unguardable, and now he's learned to pass. He finds open people. senior night, he decided because he was playing strictly to point, he was going to get his teammates shots and had 13 assists. He's a great steal person. He plays with an upbeat attitude all the time. So I don't know if Ralph's going to be right, because I don't know if you can have a better senior year or a better career than Russ Smith has had.
To the left.
Coach, I know it's a little different this time, but fourth consecutive conference tournament championship game. What are your thoughts on that achievement?
We're excited about it. You know, we talk about it all season long, about winning the regular season, winning the conference tournament, and obviously going on for a successful postseason. And it's very important to us when you play for a championship to do everything humanly possible to get it, and the guys are preparing to get it. We know we're going to go against either Connecticut or Cincinnati, two outstanding teams that have both been ranked the whole year. So we know we have our hands full, but I've got a lot of confidence that our guys, this championship is very important to them.
Question.
Coach, as far as preparing for the postseason, whether it's this tournament or the next one, does title defense become a part of your lexicon when you're talking to these guys, or last year is forgotten?
It's a different team, but I tell them, look at how much fun we had last year. And we want to try to experience that again. And I know they're going to give me extraordinary effort, but like anything else, anything can happen in this tournament. I think we passed the eye test. You know, I think we passed the eye test in terms of the way the guys are playing. But there's a lot of teams that pass the eye test. You know, when I watch, if I watch Wisconsin or Florida, you know, or Michigan, they all pass the eye test. You know, there's so many teams this year that passed that eye test that are really, really good. And so it's going to be a fun tournament. There'll be some 1 seeds, but I don't think you can, between 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds, those 12 teams, I don't think you're going to really find too much difference in any of them.